All right. Another thing that you guys shouldn't be doing is chasing pumps. This one's an obvious one, but there is a really nuanced situation that I do want to go over and explain, because sometimes chasing a coin that's performing better is a good decision, and sometimes it's not. Most of the time, you guys are going to be chasing a pump, and it's a terrible idea. You shouldn't be chasing the pump. And I want to explain to you the difference. So, in a bull run, everything goes up, right? It doesn't matter like if it's the worst coin or the best coin, they all go up a lot. So, why chase a coin that's already pumping and it's already maybe done majority of the move if yours is just eventually going to have its time in the spotlight as well? Right? That's the question that you guys need to ask yourself, because an important reality of markets is that everything eventually goes up, right? So what happens is in bull runs, right? First, the best coins go up, right? So you can see where we are in the bull run right now. I don't want to make any like major price predictions because that's not the point of this video, but you can see based on where we are right now on the chart that Solana has been outperforming the market. You can see Sol versus ETH. Sol has been outperforming Ethereum. So Ethereum is the index benchmark for the altcoin market. It's been outperforming alts in general, right? Obviously there's exceptions, but generally most of the altcoins Solana is going up more than. So the best coins in the market are going up the most. Now, what ends up happening is that, right, all the coins that are good end up having gone up a lot, right? Let's do some drawings, right? So a coin is like this, another one is like this, another one is like this, another one is like this. Now, people want to find the next this, the next this. And so they go searching for a chart that looks like this before it did this. And so what they end up finding is a bunch of really shitty projects that look like this, maybe like this. You know, they're still going up, but they're underperforming the main ones, right? They look like this, like that. And they look for these. And they go, okay, well, this coin, right, it did this, and then it did that. So I know the drawing sucks, but you get the idea. And so this coin is doing this. So does that mean the next thing it's going to do is that? Right? And so you end up not being good at picking projects. You buy these shit coins and you don't buy these ones. So what ends up happening in the bull run is coins like Solana, like this sort of price action, they end up pumping and your coin doesn't end up doing anything. And so then you ask yourself, should I sell this one to buy this one, right? Should you chase the pump? But the answer to your question is no, generally, because if you're making an emotional decision to sell the laggard to buy the faster horse, you're buying this one just before people are going to try to find the next this. So just when your coin was actually probably going to go up, right, because people want to end up finding the unpumped coins, right, you sell it, now this one goes up. And I'll give you a classic example of this. So Litecoin, or maybe a better example would be, what would a good example be? Maybe like XLM, right? So this coin, it's what ends up happening is that the worst coins in the market end up going up last. And as a general rule of thumb, when all the really shitty trash projects pump, that's generally the top. Because when the market runs out of coins to make go up, there is nothing left to pump and everything. There's only one direction that things can go, and that's down. So what you end up doing is you end up using these old coins like Ripple, what's another one? Litecoin is a good one. I'm trying to think of some more examples. Even something like Cardano, Tron is a good one, right? Tron. You use these coins, and when these coins go ballistic, when they have their turn in the spotlight, they tend to have their turn in the spotlight last because they're the worst projects. They're the ones people are least interested in. And when these ones go up, that's when you need to be concerned, because that's when the top is. But for you as an investor, if Solana has... Wow, Tron is just going sideways, isn't it? If Solana was like this, right, and then it's like this, and your coin is like this, your coin will catch up to Solana. So if you sell this one to buy this one, Tron is just inevitably going to do this, right? That's just how the market works. Because people go, oh, look, Solana had this price action, and it did that, and then Tron has this price action, and it's here. So what's the next Solana? It's Tron. And so all these people end up buying here, 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 to chase this move on the laggard. Now, the difference is Solana's a good project, Tron isn't. So that's why it goes up last. But in a bull market, everything goes up, okay? So if you're concerned owning a coin, is your coin going to go up? The coin will eventually go up, right? Because everything goes up. But in the course, you've already seen me talk about the concept of cutting losing positions and adding to winners. So if you see that Solana is outperforming Tron, doesn't it make sense that you cut the loser, Tron, and buy the winner, Solana? Well, you know, what's the difference between chasing pumps, which I just said not to do, and doing this? What's the difference? Well, one is a process-driven decision, and the other is an emotion-based decision. So I'm going to give you two examples to illustrate what I mean here, right? When you chase a pump, you are making an emotional decision. When you sell a loser to buy a winner, you are making a process-based decision. So let me explain the difference. So Joe Blow. I think I've already talked about Joe Blow in this video, in this course. Joe Blow is my just name that I'm going to give the worst investor possible. So Joe Blow owns Bitcoin a little bit and a lot of Ethereum. He thought Ethereum was going to outperform, and so heading into the Bitcoin ETF approval, Bitcoin's pumping, right? And we can sort of see that right now. Bitcoin is going well, and sorry for the mess on these charts. Bitcoin is doing well, and if you look at Ethereum versus Bitcoin, Ethereum is doing terribly, right? Ethereum looks like shit. And so he's holding Ethereum going, fuck, I should have bought Bitcoin, what am I doing, or something else. And he sees everyone hating ETH on Twitter, and he's beginning to question his decision. Now, Bitcoin continues to go ballistic into the ETF approval in January, and Ethereum barely moves. And he decides, fuck, I need to be buying Bitcoin, this is the better asset, I should sell my Ethereum. So he sells Ethereum to buy Bitcoin. He sells the loser to buy the winner. Now, the problem with this decision was the ETF got approved. Now the narrative shifts towards what's the next ETF. And so the Ethereum Bitcoin chart actually bottoms shortly after the approval. Now, I don't know if this actually happens, but I'm giving you a potential scenario of what might have happened, right? What might happen to sort of explain a real life example. So Ethereum Bitcoin bottoms after the Bitcoin ETF approval because now people go, oh shit, well now a Bitcoin ETF came out, so maybe an Ethereum ETF is next. And then the same thing that happened to Bitcoin now happens to Ethereum. And so now Joe bought Bitcoin, which is now the underperforming coin. He just swapped from one underperformer to the next underperformer. And the reason he made this decision when he did was Ethereum was most hated and Bitcoin was most loved at this inflection point. This inflection point right here is where Ethereum was the most hated and Bitcoin was the most loved. And he made an emotion-based decision because he made the decision which was easiest, which felt the most right. Because he was avoiding the pain of the fact that he lost money. Okay? So the reason he failed, again, like I said, was because he made an emotional decision to buy the consensus bet, Bitcoin, and sell the unconsensus bet, Ethereum. Ethereum was only a short-term laggard. It was not a flawed coin. It wasn't Ethereum was broken. It was just short-term underperformance. And what maybe he also didn't understand is that Ethereum as an asset always underperforms for 90% of the time, and all of its performance comes within a very short period of time, generally, right? You can see in the price action, it's such a shit chart. All of the price action comes within a short period of time. Here, here, here. You can attribute 90% of the gains to 10% of the time. So he bought an asset which has this price action without understanding that this is how it works. So he sold it just before it pumped, right? He failed to utilize logical analysis of the second and third order consequences. So what I mean by second and third order consequences is he didn't understand that after a Bitcoin ETF, inevitably everyone's going to focus on Ethereum. That's the second